it's Anissa, and I'm here to talk to you about an innovation revival. You may be asking yourselves, do we really need to innovate? If you answered no, then that is a really bad idea. If you answered yes, then that's a really good idea. So let's talk more about why innovation is important. But first, let's travel back in time to when our organization first started. Back in 1965, when President Lyndon B. Johnson called a war on poverty. He supported community action programs by allocating money to a program that focused on serving disadvantaged children and families. That program is now notionally known as Head Start. This year we have gotten even bigger, which means that innovation is crucial in securing longevity in the field. So let's explore our organizational culture to see if we're innovative ready. Recently, we identified a 30% increase in staff disciplinary actions resulting from negative workplace behaviors. For an organization to be successful, it must have actively engaged and happy employees. When an employee is actively engaged in the workplace, they will yield higher productivity and generate more innovative ideas. So how do we increase staff happiness? Well, it starts with the relationships. My innovative stance is comprised of 3 components. First, let's create a culture that is supportive to staff. By prioritizing staff needs, we can create a climate of cooperation. Staff who feel supported are more inclined to be actively engaged. Secondly, a culture must feel safe for staff. This means allowing them the opportunity to make and learn from their mistakes without fear of disciplinary action. And finally, we must create a values-based culture. It's hard to balance work and personal life, and for staff to feel safe and supported, then their values must align with our values. So when life happens, we must do our best to bridge that connection between home and work. A supportive, safe, and values-based culture is the key to becoming innovative ready. Now that we've talked about culture, let's talk about our structure. We operate with a traditional hierarchy, placing the line worker staff at the bottom and management at the top. Staff directly implement our policies and procedures, but are removed from the innovative process, making it more challenging to spot the natural innovators. Alternatively, an organization that is run by staff without any assertive direction from leaders places an entire organization at risk for non-compliance and defunding. But why does it have to be a them versus us? By changing our structure and developing I-teams, top leaders serve as the board of innovation. Line worker staff now have an opportunity to come together to present their ideas for improvement and quality control. And now our structure becomes a them and us. So how do we engage innovative employees? Well, first, let's give them the opportunity to take ownership of their ideas. Next, let's give them a chance to learn from others. And finally, let's ask them to present their ideas to the group for feedback. This process cultivates a constant culture of learning. So how are we going to keep the momentum going? We're going to look at trainings, conferences, and collaborations to learn from others. We're going to be fiscally prepared to innovate. We're going to study and stay current on the trends in technology as well as in the field. And we're going to embed innovation in our daily practices, program goals, and ways of thinking. Whew, innovation is hard work, but now we have a plan, so let's get going.